So we tell you guys that, remember I asked, I said, are you too busy to do your reviews? Are you too busy to set appointments? Are you too busy to track what appointments that you have going on? And I said, I saw this video and they were talking about, like happiness in life and this other thing. And I said, that's a really good analogy of what it's like in our business. And we use an excuse or different things, but we don't work well in the margins and in the gaps, all right? But so we need 20 appointments, okay? So I got these golf balls right here to fill into your day, your life, and we're gonna design a whole calendar for you of what it looks like to have a $1,000 day, a $10,000 day, a $20,000 day, whatever that's gonna look like. We're gonna design it all for you, okay? But these golf balls right here, they represent your appointments, okay? They're gonna take up the most amount of time. I mean, when I'm on the phone call, I can be off the phone in a minute, 5 minutes, right? I mean, those are pretty easy. When I'm sitting down, having to really connect with somebody, figure out what they want, figure out where they're going, what their plans are, you really need to take your time with that. But the problem with it is it's so time consuming. So that's why we suggested that there was 20 appointments. And so we said, all right, you're going to do this. I mean, it pretty much fills up. If you do it the right way, it's going to fill up almost your whole day. Your whole business strategy is going to be filled up just with appointments, right? I mean, is that why we don't have them? Can you agree that's probably why we don't have them? Because they're very time consuming? Hey, I've got to go run and do this, or I got to run and do that, so I can't meet with you then, right? Isn't that what goes on in our head? I can't meet with you at 5 because my daughter has recital or something along those lines. That's what goes on in our psychological thing, but they're the biggest and most important part of our business. So we have to be able to fill those in. But there's still time left. So we say on our report cards that we need to do CMAs, right? We need to do 30 CMAs need to be given out if you're on the listing side. You need to have 40 no cards going out. So if you were talking to a seller and you just met with them at an appointment, you're going to have to follow up with a no card. And it only takes a couple minutes, right? I mean, it's just a couple minutes to sit down. It's definitely no appointment. All right? So imagine all these CMAs that go out. All these no cards that go out. You're going to have to be relevant. So you're probably going to have to do some social media work. So we're going to have to move into getting out there. A couple more things for how many posts we're going to do. It's going to fill you up. I mean, you're pretty much at the brim of what you're going to be able to do, right? Now, in order to get those appointments, though, it's going to take some other time. It's not fair to just say, hey, all of my time is sitting in the office doing an appointment somewhere. So I'm going to have to make calls. And the calls is the biggest number. The calls, the emails, we say you need to make 400 calls to get 20 appointments. For every 20 calls, you'll get 1 appointment. And so you're going to have to figure out how you're going to get those calls in there. And it's going to be tight. It's going to be real tight.
The marbles aren't going down to the bottom.
Too many appointments.
You guys, there's no such thing as too many appointments. So you get the idea. You get the idea. The sand's in there. I mean, so now you're spending your whole day making calls. You've got appointments. You're sending out note cards. You're doing CMAs. I mean, it's just getting exhausting. I mean, you can't possibly fit in anything else. I mean, when am I ever going to read? When am I ever going to make it to the gym? When am I ever going to spend time with my family? There's always room to do more. It'll fit into the gaps. It'll fill into the gaps. It just takes planning. It takes preparation. And it washes all the other stuff away to the point where you can fill up the rest of your day with all the other things that are important. And if you don't do this, your life doesn't feel this way. It doesn't feel full. And your life's not going to feel fulfilled. You're going to feel like you're lacking in your growth. You're going to feel like you're lacking with your family. You're going to feel like you're lacking with income if it's not appointments. You're going to feel like you're lacking with new clients if you're not sending out note cards. You're going to feel like you're lacking in what you're doing all day if you're not making those 400 calls. So all this stuff, I just wanted to give you all a visual. Hopefully that's helpful for you to see. I know it seems pretty corny, but I wanted to give you an idea of what it should look like for your day and what your business looks like. Everything we did was by design. We designed all this, and you go, I don't have time to tell you what appointments I have. I don't have time to fill out a report card. I don't have time to read. I say different. I say that if you really want to grow into a leader, you're going to find a way. We're not going to use can't as the reason that we can't do it. All right? We're not going to say that we're going to try and make phone calls. You're either going to make the calls or you're not. You're either going to set appointments or you're not. And when you define that and decide that on your own, then you're going to be able to figure it out. Now, I got a question that I'm going to ask, and there's two questions I'm supposed to ask. If I don't, what can happen? My daughter got in trouble, and I had her read this book, and it goes through a couple of different things. But I'm not going to bore you with all those details. But the point of it is the question is asked is he says, "Why do you floss?" Well, if I don't, then I'm going to get gingivitis, and then I'll have to go to the dentist. It'll cost me more at the dentist, and then I could have gum disease, or goes through all. And that's a minuscule thing, of what we're talking about in life, of everything we're trying to get accomplished. And you go, that's what happened. What would happen if we don't? He said, but that's actually not why I do it. What we ask ourselves is what will happen if we don't? If we don't pay our mortgage, if we don't do this, if we don't take care of things. But what needs to happen is we have to go in and go, what happens if we do? What would change in your life if you did fill it like this? What would happen? We know what happens if it doesn't. You struggle, you can't pay the bills, it ripples down to yelling at your kids, you don't feel fulfilled, so the company's not doing what it's supposed to, and the leads are bad, and all of that is a ripple effect of gingivitis, all right? But what we have to have is we have to have a mindset that's going to be like, what would happen if we did? What would happen if this group and this team decided to meet those goals? If they said, we're going to collectively meet those goals. And it would ripple into every one of you guys a life change. And that's what we talked about with the other stuff. So